Hi there, and welcome to Jill's Quest for Riches. In today's episode, we're going to dig a little bit deeper into the fire plan that I made for you guys. This is a follow-up video of a previous video where I introduced my fire plan template, an Excel file that you can easily use to determine your fire plan. Where are you today and where will you get? If you haven't seen this video yet, I'll put a link here on top or in the description down below. So the agenda for today is, first we're going to play around a bit with some metrics, see how it impacts the fire plan and the date when I would reach fire, or at least when the specific scenario that we're testing out would reach fire. And I also have some points that I want to discuss with you about the template and fire plans in general. That's it for today, short episode, let's go. Okay, so now let's play around a bit with the numbers and see what the impact is. I quickly added this little table here as well so we can compare different scenarios. Now we still have all the numbers as we just walked over, but if we want to adapt something, let's say we leave out the garage, which I didn't have at that time, what will be the difference? Now, I'm a little bit of a lazy person, so I don't want to keep remembering this date. So what I do is I copy this date, I paste it here, the only orange fields in this new table. Be careful to put paste special and only paste the value, right? You don't want to copy the formula, otherwise we won't see any difference. I paste the value here, there we go. Obviously the difference is 0 because it's the same date, but let's say that we leave out the garage here. Up, there we go, it's 0. So what does that mean? It means it will take me 610 days more, or in months that would be 20 months, or in years it would be 1.69 years longer without the income of the garage. So if we play around with let's say some other things, and what I said is in a previous video that reducing your costs has a bigger impact than reducing your income. So let's see that difference, right? What if we increase our income with 100 euro? Voila, there we go. So savings went up with 100 euro. Then that would save us 10 months. So an increase in income at this point from 100 euros, that's 10 months less that I need to work before I can be financially independent. Now, what if we go back here and instead of increasing our salary with 100 euros, let's decrease our expenses with 100 euros. Well, for example, 100 euro less of groceries. So the monthly savings stays the same. They're also increased with 100 euro. So what's the impact here? That's 25 months. So that's a big difference, right? I think if I remember correctly, before it was 10 months, now 25 months. The difference is 100 euro, but because this fire number is calculated based on how much I spent per month. So apart from saving more per month, I also need to save up less in total. That makes the impact of reducing your expenses drastically bigger. Let's play around a bit more. So I'll put those 100 euros there again. Voila, there we go. Let's say that we find an extra passive income stream of, be it only 50 euros, nothing big, so 600 euros a year. Still makes a difference of a full year, right? So still quite impressive. Now, one of the biggest numbers to play around with is here, the 4% average return on your portfolio. This has a very strong impact. If we just would switch this 4% to 5%, voila, there we win nearly 3 years. If we make that 10%, we win 8 years. If we would make it 3%, we actually lose 5 years. So the return number is super important. That's why it's important to pay a lot of attention to it. In your plan, you don't want to overestimate or underestimate it, but also when you do your savings, when you make your investment portfolio, you want to maximize your returns as well without taking too much risks. The 4% is an average, as I said before. There's been periods in history where we didn't reach those 4% for maybe 10 years in a row. One last thing I want to play around with is what happens if we take this 10,000 savings and reduce it to 5,000 and put 5,000 of my savings net. So let's go 5,000 away from my savings account, from my safety net, and put it in my investment portfolio. What's the difference here? Well, I still win 4 months. So still, depending on how big your safety net is, how big do you need it to be, you can maybe allocate a little bit more or a little bit less to your investment portfolio, because it also impacts how fast you reach this FIRE goal. So there's still a few things that I want to share about this Excel in particular and making a FIRE plan in general. In this Excel, I did not calculate in for inflation. Why is that? Well, the effect of inflation on your salary, on your expenses, and on the return on your investments should be in the same direction, more or less. So it's easier to leave it out just to keep it simple. One thing that works against you with inflation is when inflation increases the value of your safety net, so the money that you're not investing but you're just keeping for emergencies, that value does decrease. So with high inflation, that could become a problem. It's also, again, a simplification, so we're not thinking about any extra expenses that could result from getting kids further down the line, any unforeseen events, maybe a medical situation, or just financing your marriage festivities. I also assume that you will be employed every single month, so that could also not always be the case. On the other hand, I'm also not calculating in any salary increases, and I'm not calculating any inheritances or gifts, so those could positively impact your plan as well. So that was it for today. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you learned something. And more importantly, I really hope you now get to this template, start filling in your own metrics, see where you're at, and more importantly, try to figure out how you can improve your financial situation. See you next time. Bye.